When you think about where you are right now, Pierre, and how your role might be changing, how the process of running business development for a company like Pronomic may be changing in the next 2, 3, 4 years, do you see much of a difference in how you work with data centers, or do you see that do you anticipate that a lot of what you're doing 2, 3, 4 years from now will look a lot of like what you're doing today?
No, it's also changing. We are talking AI changing with the way, of course, prospect new clients, all new techniques related to AI, ChatGPT or whatever, LinkedIn, and that has changed since, I would say, since the COVID. Since the COVID, a lot of things have changed in the way of going to the market or going to the market to reach out to the client. We also, of course, always making exhibitions. That's also important to continue with, and I don't think that will change in 2, 3 years time. We will continue to make a lot of exhibitions because it's really the moment we can meet the client and show the product. But the approach to clients are really changing. We are working on different levels, of course, normal prospection on LinkedIn, emailing, but also by organizations. We are a member in different organizations. In the Swedish manufacturing organization for data center, of course, is also to create and to be informed about the changes on the market, but also to have a good relations to the big actors, well, not big always, but the actors on the market. And I think that will also change more and more. And I see it now when I would say, in the end of my professional careers, what the young people can do today and the knowledge they have about the different tools existing today. We are talking about cold mailings. We are talking different. I'm not the best guy for this. We have a marketing department for that, but I'm a little bit informed that these tools are changing. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've noticed the same thing. If we're having this conversation 10 years ago, Gartner found about half of a typical buyer's journey was over before someone would meet with someone on a sales team. At the time, I think in the mid-2010s, it was about 56% of a typical journey, like researching, comparing options, and evaluating pricing before sales contact. Now, 10 years later, it's in well over 80%. Like most of the research and buyer's journeys, that sales cycle is over because they're just doing so much more research on their own. And for sure, like the couple of years in the early part of the 2020s when millions, tens of millions of people were working from home, that for sure accelerated transformation and is forcing a lot of changes in how companies go to market and educate and build trust. And of course, there's generational changes as well. If there's tends to be anyone that's digitally resistant nearing towards the end of their career, it's very, very likely that as more Gen X and more millennial and eventually Gen Z are moving into these decision committee roles, that they'll be even more interested in being in the driver's seat with this self-driven journey. So yeah, super interesting that you're seeing so much of this, and should play really, really well in what your need to educate your prospects and future clients really early on about what's truly involved in material handling, way beyond just what someone might on a surface level consider a transactional equipment purchase.
Yeah.
So showing up early, showing up and being there as the go-to experts in your space can make an enormous difference.